Great day, AMP family. I pray that this finds you well. It's a beautiful day outside. Well, hopefully you can see that. All right, so today we are going to do Is It Time to Leave Yet? Well, it's not really a series. It's more of a video that came from a series. Some people asked the question, and now I'll bring it to you. All right, so before we get started with anything, make sure you take a second to subscribe. Make sure you like the video before we get started. Make sure you leave a comment at the end and watch to the end. We might have something just for you. Well, hopefully the whole video is for you and it makes sense, right? All right, so the thought really across this is, do I stay or do I go? All right, so without further ado, actually, look, go check out the intro and I'll be right back. All right, family, so I got my trusty little phone here with the questions, and we're gonna make it quick and simple. There are about 9 questions here, it looks like, and we're gonna hit them real quick and get out of your way. So again, take a second, subscribe, make sure you subscribe, make sure you like the video, leave any comments that you want or questions that you want answered later on in another video. And if you get up to, let's see, 1,000 likes, we'll do a second part of it. All right. The first question is, outside of AMP, so the AMP channel, and Trinity Wear, a clothing line that I own, do you have a regular 9-to-5 job? And the answer to that one is yes. I do have a 9-to-5 job. I am a system administrator for a consulting company, and outside of running my passions and doing my passion, which is being a creator and being on YouTube, as you can see, I spend a lot of time behind a computer. So it kind of goes hand in hand, being a graphic designer and being a system administrator. All right, number 2, would you consider an indicator of it's time to change a job? All right, so some of the main indicators that I see when it's time to change a job is, 1, that you're no longer learning. The opportunity for growing in that role or what you're doing at that company is no longer an option. Maybe to another one is probably you've gotten to the point where it's become more work than fun. Many of us like doing jobs that we enjoy doing, and so once the job becomes to the point where it's so routine that you don't even know that you're going through the day, you just know that at the end of 2 weeks you get the paycheck for it, it might be a sign that you're getting burned out. It's time for a change of environment, so forth. One of the other factors is a full 180 of the people that you're surrounded with. Sometimes you can be in a place and everybody like you for the most part, you know, and you're doing great, you're doing awesome things, you're staying focused and staying ahead of things, but then all of a sudden everybody's opinion of you might change. And new people have come in, new management has changed, you know, things like that can indicate that it might be time to look for something else. Number 3, things need/should be in place before leaving a regular job to go full-time in your own business. All right, so with this, I know there's a lot of things packed into this, but if you're going to first get to a point where you want to start your own business, then make sure that you have made the plans. Like, there's already the groundwork done, because you never want to completely jump and you actually haven't done any work when it comes to your own business. Now, if you've set the business up, you've been running the business for a few years and the business is being profitable, you're becoming more and more busy with the job, with your side business, and it's taking away from your actual job, that might be one of those factors where you start considering, okay, is it time to leave yet? And then one of my big factors always with it is talk to God. If you haven't taken a chance to talk to God and really see what God wants you to do in this point, then you might be setting yourself up for failure. Like, let's be completely honest. There are entrepreneurs out there that would tell you, go ahead and just jump. But if you haven't laid the foundation for just jumping, if you aren't able to take care of your expenses where you are right now, with just the side hustle stuff, you may not want to jump just yet. Now, you can learn from other different people and so forth and learn their ways of doing things, and that's fine. But make sure that you first talk to God. Make sure that you have a foundation set before you even consider, really stepping out and leaving the job completely. Now, there have been times where God has told people to get up and just walk away because God has already prepared something for them. In essence, a ram in the bush for them to kind of go to, and it will happen. And God opens the doors and reveals those things usually to us to make sure that we are listening and trusting Him. So God is not just going to let you jump out and there's nothing there for you. You feel me? Are bad reasons to think you should start your own business. Bad reasons? There usually are some. You don't actually have a plan. One, if you don't have a plan, where are you going? Two, if the vision is so small that you only see yourself benefiting from it. If you only see yourself benefiting from it may not be that the vision has been developed enough and you can move out and do something else. Another thing, a bad reason, like I mentioned earlier, where people just turn their backs on you because of your work ethic and so forth. Sometimes you have something that you need to get done before you can move, and so you may see it as, oh well, people don't like me no more, let me just get up and go. Nah, player, look, make sure that you are doing everything that you were supposed to be doing, because if you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing and you're only doing the bare minimum, how can you expect to go out and do something else when all the bare minimum is what you've gotten used to? Once it becomes a routine, it's hard to break it, but once you break it, there might be a chance for you to move on and do something else. I had to find that out for myself. Whew. All right, does your wife fit into your business? Well, interestingly enough, my wife, when it comes to graphic design and things like that, usually she is more of like an eye to what I'm doing. So if I've created something, I may ask her, hey, what does this look like? Because we are very different brains. She is more articulate, she is more writing oriented, more communications, like formulating campaigns and things like that. That's her wheelbarrow, and mine is more of the creative realm. So those two come together when there are a lot of words involved, and usually she'll do the editing of the words and so forth. And so she's also kind of that encouragement to keep on pushing forward when it comes to the side hustle. God shows us we should start a business. If so, how? Okay, so with this question, God will usually reveal things to you and open doors that you may not have imagined when it comes to getting ready to start your business. So once you set up the foundation, once you have listened to Him and the vision has been grown up and blown up in your mind, where you can't even see how you're going to reach that vision, but you know that the groundwork is laid to get to there, God usually opens up doors and put people in your lives that encourage you. Hey, are you sure you're ready to go? Or He'll just push you in such an extreme way in some cases. Like sometimes we will get so stuck in our routine while our dream is still being lived at a smaller scale. Sometimes it takes us losing the job that we thought, oh no, we're cushioned, we got plenty in here, and the business is still flourishing on the side, where something extreme like losing that job causes you to focus more on the business. And so we just have to be open to the mind and the ears of, have our ears in tune to what God is telling us to do. As entrepreneurs, we should trust God knows what's best for us, especially when it comes to moving forward in the businesses and the things that we are trying to create. Our purpose in our lives is driven by the goals and the talents that God has given us. So if we're not in tune with Him, when it comes to dreaming, we stifle that dream just a little bit to see its full potential, because we're not listening to the one who gave us the dream or purposed us for that dream. All right, last but not least, it deals with the obligation versus opportunity mentality. What do you think? All right, so let me put this in a quick perspective. This is the last question, by the way. I am always intrigued with how people approach this. Like, they give you the obligation or the opportunity. How do you see the job that you're currently at, right? Many people see it as an obligatory thing that they have to go to work. They have to be in a job because they have to take this amount of money because that's, you know, basically what they're okay with getting to meet the bills and expenses and so forth. And that vision, that dream that God has given them sits on the back burner, gathers cobwebs, the whole nine. But then other people see that job, that 9 to 5, that may not necessarily be in what their dream is in, as an opportunity to learn all that they can to really take themselves to that next level in what they're trying to accomplish. So today I want to challenge you to see wherever you are, whatever state that you're in, as an opportunity to do bigger and better things in your life. If you look at every opportunity that you come up against as an opportunity and not an obligation, then it will change your perspective on how you approach every single day. Look, first off, we're not supposed to be glorifying man and looking for man to give us props on what we're doing. Yeah, it's fine and good, but at the end of the day, I want to see God and hear God say, well done, thy good and faithful servant, because I'm doing everything that I'm doing to his glory and to his honor. So see everything as an opportunity to grow in not only what God has called you to do, but what you have dreaming and the purpose that you have been made for. All right? So is it time to leave yet? Do some soul searching, do some praying. Make sure that you're not leaving for any bad reasons, but make sure that you set the foundation to move forward in what your dream is, and make sure that God is in it all throughout it and approves on what you're about to do. All right? So know that I love you. God loves you even more. And until next time, be inspired, be edified, be encouraged. Put God first in all that you do. Love unconditionally, do what you love, and always live an amped life. Let's get amped.